like between about 6 to 8 months, maybe between 5 months to a year. I don't even like how they look. I don't even like to take pictures of my dogs during those phases because they look so weird, so funky, so they like get skinny. They look like reindeer. Look like they're not gonna have no chest. They just get taller and taller before they start getting wider and wider. They usually fully mature at around 3 to 4 years. The blood takes time to mature. Like maybe at a year and a half, you can start to see it starting to pop. You know, that's what we call it. When the dog starts to develop and the chest starts to pop, the bone starts to get thicker, the dome starts to go from that reindeer head to having that true American bully, thick, big skull. That's called starting to pop. So it might start to pop at around a year and a half, 2 years old, but you don't see that full maturity where you see that big beast of a dog to, like, I would say maybe 3 to 4 years old. Yeah, 3 to 4 years old. So the first time, I'm going to give you several different examples so you can see it's not just me saying trust the blood. Because a lot of people, this actually was spawned by a post I put up on Facebook about BGK's Gambino because he's under 2 years old. And one of the guys was like, oh man, he looks good, but he doesn't look as thick as I'd like to see him. She's under 2 years old. That boy is not ready to go yet. That boy is still in the microwave. He's still in the oven. What are you tripping on? For real. But anyway, look, so at the end of the day, I was like, you know, my blood pops a little slower. And he was like, if you say so, like, okay, you know more about my blood than me. I've been breeding it for 14, 15 years. But you can tell me more about my dogs than I can. For real? You can tell me more about... Forget it, bro. Like, sometimes you don't want to entertain stupidity, but you want to educate them. And if they can't, and they just staring at the bottom of the plane, that means it went over their head. So be it. I can't help you. But anyway, what I'm going to do is give you a few examples so y'all can see. When I say trust the blood, this is truly how my blood develops. I've watched it multiple times. So I'll start with one of these guys I had met. This story is messed up and it pissed me off. It's the story of BGK's mistress. Now, I sold BGK's mistress to, he was actually a prison guard. And his wife was pregnant at the time, right? So you're thinking, you can't find a more stable family than a prison guard with a pregnant wife who they're expecting kids. When we went to go meet with them, they were really excited. The wife came, her stomach was protruding. You could tell she was about to have a baby. So I'm like, you know, giving her the rundown. Hey, you don't have to worry about the dog being aggressive with the baby. You don't have to worry about the dog harming the baby. She's like, am I going to be safe? Is my kid going to be safe? And I'm answering all the questions that I can. They're interacting with the puppy. The puppy was off of Rock, bred back to a female named Nala. My boy BGK's Rock bred back to Nala. And I told him, I was like, my blood pops a little slow, whatever, what have you. So the guy got the dog, and we had made an agreement that I get to breed the dog because I knew what I was giving him. This pup was a beautiful pup. I always thought Mistress was beautiful as a pup, and she's even more beautiful and gorgeous now, as you'll see. But anyway, short story shorter, the guy took the dog. He's sending me updates. He was like, hey man, she's getting kind of skinny. I thought she was going to be better than this. What's going on, bro? Like, I almost got a dog from Saul from RBG, and I chose to go with you, and now I don't know if I made the right decision. I'm like, bro, she's like 6, 7 months old. This is when they go through their weird, funky growing phases. Like I told y'all earlier, right? This is when they go through their weird, funky growing phases. You're worried about the wrong thing. She's going to be fine. And he hit me up again like, hey, bro, I don't know what's going on. She's not developing right. I'm like, look, bro, I'll take her back. But he stopped responding, right? And this is weird because this is a guy that follows me on Instagram. My Instagram is @largestpitbulls. @largestpitbulls. This is a guy that follows me on Instagram and things like that. And we would talk on the phone on a regular basis. I would see him commenting on my posts on a regular basis, and all of a sudden he's ghost. I'm not seeing no more updates of the pup, nothing. So I finally get a call from him saying he doesn't want to tell me what's really going on, I guess. He was like, hey man, the dog, I had to leave the dog at a veterinarian, and I'm just not going to be able to pick it back up. I'm like, hold the hell up, bruh. What do you mean you left the dog at the veterinarian? Why didn't you call me? I would have bought the dog back from you. Why is it at a veterinarian? Come to find out, dude had broke up with his wife. His wife is the one that actually gave me all the insight about what really happened, because I didn't know what was really going on until she called me. She called me and was like, her man had got caught bringing contraband into the prison for money. I guess that's how he was getting money, and he was on his way to jail. Can you imagine that? So the prison guard that I sold my dog to is on his way to prison. Wow. So that tripped me out. I'm like, okay, I got to do what I got to do to get this dog back. And he was already acting like before the dog wasn't that great. I got a hold, luckily through the wife, she was able to get me the number of the veterinarian that had my dog, well, had his dog at that point. And I called the veterinarian, and I'm like, look, a client of mine left the dog there, and that is my dog. I have the right to buy that dog back per our contract. And they were like, well, he never called us back again. He left the dog here, and all we know is she's our mascot now. We love this dog. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad she's been taken care of. She's been socialized, because clearly she's at a vet where everybody's coming in and out, right? I'm like, but at the end of the day, I need that dog back. They're like, well, we can't give it back. We've been giving it food. We've been caring for it. We've been giving it medication. We've been providing for this dog. You know, like, we've been basically taking, this is our dog. I'm like, name your price. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I know it was thousands, but I did not hesitate. They were nice enough to allow me to pay for the dog and to bring BGK's mistress back. And when I brought her back, she looked like this, like skinny. Like, it wasn't because of them though. Like, I can say that the vet was taking good care of the dog, and I can see what this guy was saying. She didn't look like he expected her. She wasn't as wide as she was supposed to be and things of that nature. Man, I took her back the very first day that I got her back into my house. She was eating like crazy. I'm like, hold up, man. Something's going on here. She's dominating the other dogs at the food bowl. I don't mean like showing food aggression, but she's really into the food. So I started developing her and walking her, and that girl popped like crazy. One of the widest, look at this, look at her. One of the widest, biggest girls on the planet. Just beautiful, producing beautiful. I mean, just beautiful, man. Everybody that sees that dog was like, I can't believe somebody got rid of that dog and you were able to get that dog back. Like, can I get a dog like her? I got clients right now that want a dog for mistress or want a dog like mistress because they love her structure. And when I tell them the story, they can't believe that she was the dog that the guy didn't think was going to pop. She was the dog that the guy was calling me, complaining, man, I should have got a dog from Mark on a regular basis, to the point where he started sending me pictures of the dog, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, hold up. That was the 6-pick male? Like, this dog turned into a beast. Not only did he turn into a beast, he ended up being the international champion at the shows over there. The guy won a pickup truck at the dog show with a 6-pick male off of BGK's The Rock. A pickup truck. I didn't even know you can win a pickup truck at a dog show. Like, I haven't won a pickup truck at a dog show. I'm slacking. He doing that with my 6 picks. But that just goes to show you, trust the blood. If you really trust the blood and the dog is well bred and it has a good pedigree, it has a good bloodline, don't be surprised at how it can develop. It can develop a lot more than you think. Another dog I'd like to tell y'all about when we're talking about trust the blood is BGK's Knight, who we talked about earlier, right? We talked about BGK's mistress. So that was the one I got back from the prison guard who went to prison. So he decided to buy a puppy from them, and he got the first pick male. I sold him the first pick male, and that male started going through the same lanky, funky, weird growing phases that we've been talking about doing the trust the blood story time, right? And that dog started doing the exact same thing. Stop posting those pictures. Ugh, he look horrible right now. Let him develop. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even want to see those pictures. They was tagging me on Instagram, and I was, I'm ducking. I'm ducking because I don't even want to see the pictures. I already know, like, man, don't post them yet. Just give him a little bit more time. But anyway, this is what he started out like. This is what he looked like during his funky phases. And this is what he looks like now. And he's still young. He's not even fully mature yet. But this is BGK's Nitro right now. And as you can see, he became a beast. He became a beast. And he's not near done growing. He's not near done growing. He filled out just like his mom. He filled out just like his dad. Both of them went through those funky growing phases. Picasso went through it. BGK's mistress went through it. And of course, he's following suit because he's going to be a big, huge dog. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be breeding this boy. I love this boy, so I'm going to be breeding him.
He makes you look tiny up there. Look at that. Oh, crazy.
So BGK's Nitro, yet another example in the trust your blood. Like, I'm showing you, this is a consistent thing in my blood. The next thing I want to talk about is BGK's Titan. Like I told you, I've been selling dogs everywhere, all over the place. And I sold BGK's Titan to Bully Beach House, to Robati in Panama. He's located in Panama. I'll put their Instagram right here. Bully Beach House Instagram is right here. You can check out their Instagram. So you can see I'm not making up these stories. I'm going to keep dropping links. So each time you're going to be like, okay, Dre's not bullshitting. This is really how his blood develops. Big dogs develop a little differently. So I want y'all to understand how the XL American Bullies, at least the ones that I breed, the bloodline that I breed, they develop slowly, but when they pop, it's a beautiful thing to see. But anyway, BGK's Robati hit me up. He's like, I want a first pick male. I want something that's going to be beautiful. And at that time, I had a breeding going with BGK's Tank and BGK's Cali. RAP to BGK's Cali. Now, I was working with two different parties, my boy Charles and my guy Paul at that time. Paul is from Top Blue Kennels. He let me use BGK's Tank. And then my boy Charles, he had 727 Pit Bulls, and I got BGK's Cali. I had produced both of the dogs, and I was breeding them back together. And Robati came to me. I sold him BGK's Titan. And when he got BGK's Titan, I forget the price he paid, but it was a first pick, so you already know it's a first pick going overseas. It's not cheap. You know the routine. So I sold him the dog. Robati got the dog. He goes, the dog is nice, but, you know, I thought he was going to be a little bigger. Now, like I told you, my dogs don't start off as the hugest, biggest pups, but they do develop into the hugest, most beautiful XL American Bullies you want to see. That's what they do. So he started hitting me up and sending me pictures, and he's another one that's posting pictures of a dog that's still developing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm back to doing the matrix on the pictures, right? I don't want to see them. So he's tagging me and posting, and I'm liking them, but I'm just like, man, just give them time to develop and then start showing them off. But I guess they want to show off phases. They're excited. He's a new breeder. I'm the first breeder he's dealing with, so he wants to show, hey, I got my BGK beasts. Just keep watching them. And we had a couple calls that he was kind of upset. He was like, hey, man, this dog is not what I hope, man. This dog is not what I hope. I want to buy 2 more dogs from you, but they got to turn out better than this. Fast forward to 8 months. At 8 months, this dog wins first place at the first dog show that he goes to. The very first dog. Now, he's not even finished getting out of the ugly phases yet, in my opinion. And he's already taken first place. Now, he went on to win many more shows. He went on to be one of the best looking XL American Bullies. Actually, you see him in the intro of my BGK story times or my BGK videos in general, because I really like BGK's Titan that much. He's the dog that's pulling the guy on the leash in the intro of the video. So BGK's Titan turned out to be beautiful. As you can see by the pictures, as you can see by the video, he did protection work. He would do weight pulling. He's possible. He can do anything that you want, and he produces just like he looks. Beautiful dogs. Classic, beautiful dogs. And Robati did get that infamous "I told you so" phone call from me, because I'm famous for making them calls once they develop and they're like, oh my God, the dog is so beautiful. I told you so. Remember when you're saying all that? Remember when you're saying all that? I ain't know how the dog's gonna turn out. Oh, Dre, I kind of don't like this dog right now. I told you, let the dog develop. I told you so. Now, we're still friends to this day. Shout out to Robati. Much love to him and his wife and their new kid that they had as well. But I had to put that out there, man. I had to hit him with the "I told you so." So that is yet another trust the blood story that you can see in real time and understand why I call it the Trust the Blood series. This is the Trust the Blood series that we're on right now. Because if you know how the blood develops, you won't make mistakes like I did with BGK's Cujo and get rid of them. Like, yes, I was able to establish BGK Europe using BGK's Cujo, but to be honest with you, if I knew what Cujo would have developed into, I would have never sold him to Europe. What happened was, as BGK's Cujo hit maybe 12, 13 months, and he was only 120 pounds, 121 pounds, I'm like, I got Rock. Rock is 150 pounds. Cujo's cool, but he ain't Rock. What I didn't understand was when I seen that dog at 2 years and 3 years and 4 years old, that I would be kicking myself in the ass for not keeping him, not listening to my cousin, not listening to my girl at that time who was telling me to keep him. I should have listened to them because they were right, and I ended up selling them because I did not trust the blood. The last dog I want to tell y'all about in the Trust the Blood series is BGK's Tank. Now, BGK's Tank came from a litter that BGK's T-Rex came from, right? The same one that actually ended up getting fought in Indonesia against 2 game pit bulls and dying. He had a brother named BGK's Tank. I sold BGK's Tank to Top Blue Kennels, and at that time, Jackson from Alabama Irons had hit up Top Blue Kennels and told him, I don't know why you buying a dog from Dre. BGK's Cujo ain't even that big. You expect the sons to be big? And Paul of Top Blue Kennels started getting concerned. He's like, man, I hope this dog turns out to be big because I got other breeders hating on me saying that I should have never bought this puppy. He's a third pick. Now, BGK's Tank was a third pick puppy. It is what it is. My third picks turn out better than a lot of people's first picks, and I'll prove it. So, with that being said, I told Paul, don't worry about it. This is a breeding that I know well. I produced the mom. I produced the dad. I know what this blood is going to do. Paul believed in us, and that ended up being his foundation dog, and he's done quite well over the years over at Top Blue Kennels. I'll drop his link right here. But anyway, with that being said, as the dog developed, Paul would tell me, oh man, he's kind of skinny. He's not as big as I thought he was going to be. This dog ended up being 164 to 165 pounds, BGK's Tank. He ended up doing a movie with Keanu Reeves called Exposed. I mean, Paul loved this dog. We put him on our YouTube channel, this channel right here. That video, we put him on a scale where he was, I think he was like 156 at like maybe 15 months. I mean, the dog blew up. And the other guy said he wasn't going to be over 115 pounds. Remember, Paul was worried, is he going to be over 115? This dog ended up being 164, 165 pounds. So it's safe to say he turned out to be a beast. And Paul got all the exposure that he wanted from the dog. This dog has produced very well for him. His entire bloodline over at Top Blue Kennels is founded on BGK's Tank, and that's why he has great looking dogs.